we love to feature our local Lake Martin nuts. And, and this is one of my favorite ones in the world. This is Dawn Thornton. And if you've spent any time at Lake Martin, you've probably seen some of her creations all over. So about 2 weeks ago, she goes, Paige, I've been telling you that I've made you all this stuff. Get over here and pick it up. So in a garbage bag of all things, there were all these little goodies that Dawn had made just, for me and for us. And so we're going to talk to you about who you are and where and what and how you come up with all these fun things.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know, it's been kind of a passion that hit me again at probably about 13 years ago, I would say. And we haven't probably had any formal art lessons other than one art lesson at 12, and we were here probably about 13 years ago. The Iraq War was going on. The women in Alexander City had their husbands leaving, and the Lions Club was doing a fundraiser to help them make their ends meet, and we had friends in. It was the holiday weekend, and they said, make a bald eagle. And so I went up, cut it out, came back down, and the rest of the holiday, everybody picked up a hammer and smashed bottle caps, and it had 497 red, white, and blue Budweiser, Bud Light, and Miller Lite bottle caps, and then we donated it to the Lions Club for their auction. And that's when Jane and Greg from down at Chuck's said, Dawn, you're an artist. And I said, no, I'm not an artist. And they said, yes, you are. Come do our show, the little Calypso. And that was my first art show. And so I banged and clanged for months, as Charlie said, in the garage and by the stove while cooking supper, and made a lot of the bottle cap fish. Is kind of where I started.
Okay.
And so it's just been a little bit of creativity and evolving. And I've always grew up at the coast, and that's where I met Charlie, and we were married. And so I've always kind of played in the seaweed that dried on the shore, the shells, and used whatever I had naturally. And it's just kind of evolved. That's where these shells from Lake Martin came from, because there was a great article in the magazine about the mussels and how they keep our lake clean. And I was so fascinated by the article I read, it inspired me to hunt them and use them.
Yes. So. Okay, well, that's about how a conversation with Dawn goes. You say hello, she tells you about her passions, and Charlie is going to come up in conversation, at about the 2-minute mark. So how long have you and Charlie been together, and how long have you been at Lake Martin? If you're a coast girl, tell us about how we get to be so lucky to have you.
Charlie and I met when I was 15 at the beach, and so we've been together about 36 years. We've been married 28, correct? We always forget to have to ask each other. He's my best friend, and time flies with us, and we enjoy each other's company and our time, and we always said we were moving at a slow pace back to the coast, and we love the coast, but every time we go to the coast, we come back to Lake Martin and we sit on the dock, and we're in love again. And so our goal is to try and find our balance between the two one day as we move into retirement. So, but Lake Martin, we've been here probably, I think Charlie and I were talking about it, and I think it's like 13 years since 2004. We were told, get on the lake, you got to get on the lake to know this lake, and that's what we did. We bought a little cabin at Sturtevant Creek, and we held it for 2 years, and then the economy was booming, and we flipped it, and we found this place by just a picture of the view, and we said we'll take it. We didn't care if it came with a tent or a home or not, but we were looking for big water, big views, and we call the house Freshwater Bay because it is like a bay when we see these storms roll in and the waves crash against the wall, and we feel like we've got the best of both.
Yes.
The freshwater bay that doesn't destroy your lights and fixtures with salt air. So
tell us about the bedroom that has all the writing on the wall.
Well, growing up in Grayton Beach, Florida, my dad leased the old Grayton store, which is now called the Red Bar.
Oh.
And we had, I'm the middle of 5 girls.
Okay.
And so, of course, as teenagers and stepping stones of age, my Dad wanted to keep us all in one area under his thumb, under his eyes. So he leased the store, and he would create our schedules of how we worked the store. And it was just a little pool hall, country, store, chips and snacks. And people used to write on the walls. And it went back probably 3 generations to, because Al Capone was in Grayton. So during World War II, the hotels would sell the rockers for $5 a night to sleep in a rocker on Grayton Beach and fill their Coke bottles with grapefruit juice because there was no Cokes during the war. And so there's a lot of history. So generations were there, and people wrote on the wall. And so you'd come in, somebody would put their name over your name, so you were back to getting your spray paint. So we've always had a lot of fun with that. So when we got here, we just decided we would let the kids, as they were coming down with their, crews, get in there and write whatever they wanted, sign, leave, tag it, and it was just always kind of something fun to come back.
No doubt.
So we have some that's little bitty, baby handprints, and now they're teenagers, and so on. So that's kind of where it is. Somebody can paint over it one day if they want to do, but for us, it's just a building block of the people that the walls are talking. They tell you who's been here, and you can't wake up in a bad mood in that room. There's just so much inspiration. So.